Got the show on. We're gonna shine. Let's go. Boom, boom. Right. And find your shine on a cloudy fucking day. That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna change ourselves. We're changing ourselves, and you're gonna change yourself too because you're watching this show. Anybody's getting this message, it's deep psychology. This isn't easy. This is the layers getting peeled back. This is the perception in the depths of our soul. And this is how we operate. Good morning. When we are out in our lives. You know, I've been doing a lot of deep diving into psychology and talking about why we date people like our parents, or we end up like our parents, or how 80% are now single parents, which I think is extremely dysfunctional. It shows just how rare air it is for people to communicate. And we're gonna have this conversation this morning. Why is this thing so, I don't know, so I guess because it's cloudy, it looks like my screen's not bright. But anyway, when you're changing yourself, yesterday I talked about, seeing yourself, like really seeing yourself. I always was fascinated by this ability, or I don't think anybody, gets it or processes it, but this is the thing that I wish I could do. Was I wish I could see what people saw in me. We're trying to figure out, who am I guess a lot of it defines myself by how people think I am. I think I'm a brother. Oh, I know I'm a brother, but I think that my siblings wouldn't consider me a brother anymore. We've grown apart, and I have a brother that won't even put the little icon of his family of me. I'm like, put these two for my sisters, these two little girls. I kind of got stung there. Two pictures of little girls for my sisters, but none for me. That's a tragedy. Let me just drop some shit off real quick. I'm going to the trash can. And I consider myself a person, but I'm sure there's plenty of people, like I had a hater yesterday talk about, I'm an asshole, I'm nothing. Why did he call me an asshole? He called me successful, which is basically the same energy that I don't like, but he went out of his way to say. And I was like, wait a minute, I tried to help you before, and you asked me for a job back in the day and some referrals and shit, but now you're over here bad mouthing me and shit in LinkedIn. Good morning. And I'm like, no wonder why I didn't plug you. You got anger management issues just like me, but at least I can see them. You're blaming all these facilities. Like, so rude when a place you go to work for doesn't even write you not a resignation letter, a denial letter that you're not getting employed. It makes me look at the place differently, right? And they talked about this, where they talked about when they don't get the rejection letter, that they looked at the company differently and said, no, I don't trust that company anymore. They're not as reputable, or I don't have as much respect for them as I thought I would. Yes, good morning. And that's something I looked at very curious. I said, you're playing the victim, bro. They don't owe you anything, and I don't owe you a job. So it was really weird for you to go out of your way to talk shit about me not being successful when I tagged my dogonshirt.com when a lady literally had a dog sitting on her shoulder, doggone shirt, and you went, your shit's been, and here's his true colors coming out. Your shit's been passed. You're still not successful. Stop the self promo. Go fuck off. Go fuck yourself. So his negativity, his anger had, because I didn't get him a job. Okay. And I was like, well, I'm so successful. Why do you ask me for help? And he's like, well, you would have connections. So I'm successful connecting people. At least I got connections. I might not have extreme wealth, but I have connections. Yesterday, another friend, hey, can I need some help? I said, what's up, man? Oh, man, I need some money. I'm like, all I got is credit cards. He goes, well, you got Cash App? And I said, I got Cash App, but that doesn't work with credit cards. What do you need for it? He's like, I'm short on bills. And I said, fucking bills. But it's also, how many bills do you have? Most people, they don't stay within their limits. I keep little to no bills. That's why I crash on the couch. You pay a couple $100 just to be on the couch and use the bathrooms, electricity, and that kind of thing. But there's a specific reason why I didn't get another 6-month, 1-year lease. There's a specific reason why I'm leaving this country. I don't have to explain, that's a whole nother subject, but as I'm changing myself, I'm changing my routine. Yesterday, I was so proud of my bestie because he was like, I gotta go. I'm not working today, but I'm gonna go change up. He came in nice clothes, and they said, look at you. Who comes to interviews like that anymore? He said, I do. A watch, the shoes, the matching combination, the crisp, clean clothes. It was important for him to look good, and it actually dwelled on the person that he was good, right? Anybody that takes that amount of attention to pay attention to how they look would pay attention to how they make their meals. And that was something that really dawned in on me, that maybe now people don't do old school full on suit, but when you're going to go meet somebody, talking about changing yourself, more than changing your appearance, it's the amount of energy you're going to put into a situation. Today's message, the morning motivation this morning, is what I heard this morning from one of the other guys. I forget, he's one of the really good guys at leading. I forget his name. He's the skinny glass wearing guys, but anyway, he does a lot of podcasts about, self-improvement. But what he was saying is, your goals are going to cost you something. I'll wait. I'll let that sink in. Your goals are going to cost you something. There's there's a price to be paid. There's a price for the prize, as Rich Abajan would say. But honestly, it's one of those where it's going to call you to do something more than what you're already doing. And a lot of people don't answer that call. They're like, it's too expensive to change my feelings. It's too expensive to train my brain. It's too much effort. I can't be bothered. And if you're not willing to bother yourself for your goals, then you're willing to settle yourself for not attaining them. Nothing's worse than the regret. The time is gone, and I felt it all the time. I'm like, fuck, I missed that play. I missed that girl. I missed that opportunity. I hate it. Like, as a passion, as somebody that's as driven as I am and a perfectionist like I am, I put in the effort. I want the motherfucking touchdowns. And I got to look at the scoreboard to say, hey, I'm successful, right? The opposite of what this guy's saying. I am doing something with my life. I am who I say that I am. And knowing yesterday, like we talked about, like I barely know who I am. I think that I know I am. Like I said, we could talk to other people and they might think I'm the editor who chiefs for Weed for Vegas magazine. For other people, I'm a brother. For other people, I'm a friend. For some people, I'm a hero. For some people, I'm a zero. It's like that. It's a lot like that. But what he wasn't doing was checking himself. Do you feel me? Instead of changing himself, he wanted to blame me for him not having a job. Little did he know, I know about 3 jobs right now. I would have loved to have proven him wrong, which I used to do. I used to spend a lot of energy on people to prove them wrong and their perspectives wrong, but they didn't want to prove themselves right. And that's something that we can change about ourselves. We can put ourselves in a right position, in a right state of mind, right physically. They talked about depression. I believe in depression, but I also believe in exercise, sunshine, eating right, reading books, learning more, getting myself in a psychology frame of mind to understand myself better. Why did I do what I said I was? Why did I do that? Why did I act that way? Why did I lose my temper? What are my feelings? There's a whole feeling wheel of core feelings, then outer feelings, and then external feelings too. And they're all linked to each other. I looked at it, and it was like anger, sadness can turn easily to envy and jealousy. You're angry because you're jealous? That's what I told them. I said, you're jealous of me because I lived the life that I dreamt. I put in the work to live the life that I wanted to. I said, all I want to do is go from place to place. I don't want to be in a cubicle. I don't say about what I didn't want to do, but what I did want to do. I wanted to go from smoke shop to smoke shop, selling my products till they kicked me out, talking till they kicked me out, and going for a long lunch and enjoying the day fully. That a day that I had a chance, I did stretch this morning, thankfully, but the days that I get to stretch, the days that I get to go outside, the days that I get to work out, the days that are complete when I've done those things. I talked about the other day, my 5 things, have the morning stretch, morning shake, and morning frisbee, or daily frisbee. Those are in me, right? Like, these are things that I desire, but it also costs me a goal. And the goal asks for a price. It said you would have to spend the next 10 years of your life not on the island, not where you want to retire, not what you want to do, but the exact opposite of working your ass off, doing these other things to build an opportunity so I can travel and live off of my business. That's what makes me successful. Creating things that aren't unseen. No one else has these. I made this with my own hands, embroidery, my own idea, the whole box, everything. I created it. And that's the world that I live in. I live in this world where I put in the effort so that the dream would be reality. And that's something that we can change in ourselves. We can choose what we eat, mentally and physically. I almost said foodily. Foodily. I don't know. Anyway, but you can change what you eat, but we get into patterns. We get into our feelings. And they say we catch feels. I hope you catch feels, because that means you like someone, but it also means you're in your feelings, that no matter what the input is, you're changing it inside of yourself. You're literally going like, I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like eating healthy. I don't feel like getting a job today. Well, if my best friend didn't feel like getting out of his bed and just sucked on his feelings like he was sucking on his thumb, he wouldn't have 2 jobs right now. That's right. That's what we're looking for. And a lot of people miss that amount of effort. They miss the amount of hard work that it took me to tag your stupid little photo with your dog and everyone else that I've seen 1,000 trillion times. That took work. That took me stopping my day instead of finger flicking through your shit that's got no likes, no comments, whatever. It all helps the algorithm and engagement levels. It works, right? It goes in other people's pop-ups only because I stopped and put some work on his post. But instead of seeing it as work, instead of seeing it as engagement and what do you call it, when you're participating, supporting, I was like, that's why you're not a friend, bro, because you got no support for other people. You want a job, but you don't want to support me. Do you know the moment that you support me is the moment that you get a job? How about let's first on me. How about my buddy that's helping me with my credit right now, but he needed help with his 501c? He asked me to share it. I don't have to share it on my post, but I did because he's helping me for free. Now, am I jealous of him getting his 501c before me at Saintsgiving? Of course, Saintsgiving should already be a nonprofit. It should already be super successful, giving people cash, being free, but it's not. Because I didn't put the effort into it. He's already there. He's got the pictures, the website up. It's working because he's working it. And we can be changing if we actually make some change. I don't want your change, I want your change. You know what I mean? I don't want your money, I want your change. And that's what a lot of people are after. They want the things to be like all about money. As long as I get money, it means I eat better food. I get to order meals. I get to do the things that I want to do, correct? Well, that in mind, guess what? It also isn't going to make you cooler. It isn't going to make you sexier. It isn't going to make you skinnier. And a lot of people believe that. They're like, well, I'll just get lip injections or Botox or whatever the fuck else they do. Suck out the fat, put it somewhere else. I'm literally looking at one of my homegirls I met at the gym. She wants to dress up at Barbie, but she used to be Barbie. Really big. Like her whole life, she was an extremely big girl, almost 300, 400 pounds. And that's when I was like, all the nip and tucks in her arms, all the working out daily 7 days a week doesn't undo the damage she's already done. She can nip and tuck all she wants, but the damage has to be healed here. And that's when I was watching that earlier today. I was seeing that I was reading that where I sent that to the girl, to one of my love interests. But when I sent it to her, I was saying, that's trauma bonding. That's trauma bonding. And we do that all the time. When we try to bond to the trauma, that's not healthy. You know what I mean? When people can learn from it and accept it from the other people and go, okay, this is literally how I'm dating this new person too. We're literally talking about narcissists that we've dated, our psychology terms, what makes us who we are. And I can't think of anything more healthy than to just show someone, like I said, Saints Addiction, my bad side first. I think everybody likes to lead with this facade, the mask, and say, oh, hey, this is how I am, and then you'll be mad when it wears off. Listening to these gentlemen, they're right. Trying to find somebody, you can find a pretty face, but if you're a frugal person and they're not frugal and they start spending all your money, it's eventually going to catch up. Eventually people are going to see that it's not adding up. They're like, I started dating you because you bought me all these purses. Now you can't maintain that lifestyle. Why am I dating you? And that's the thing you don't want. You don't want to be dating someone because of what you can provide for them. A lot of people, well, what you're providing for me, I watch it all the time, all the gold digger videos. It's like, I don't even know who you are. You know, to provide for someone that I love, it's just like your mom. Your mom will give everything she's got, right? She'll give the clothes off her back. She'll give you the time of day. She'll even let you cry on her shoulder. You'll do that for people that you care for. You'll give them the friends and family discount. You'll give them the courtesy discount because that's friends, that's your family, and that's how you feel. But a lot of people, when it comes to strangers, we got no love. No love clothing. Cody Garbrandt, I've been working on him to get his clothing line out. I'm a friend of Cody Garbrandt. I would say we're associates. I don't know if we're friends, but we're friendly to each other. Shout out to Cody Garbrandt for the win this last UFC weekend. What's up, homie? Morning motivation. And that's going to be the toughest thing. It all comes down to our habits. You know, like I said, it all comes down to our addictions, but it's more than just the drugs that we take or the tempers or the feelings that we're addicted to. It's our patterns, you know? These habits add up. Just like anyone else, it can become a habit. What did they say? 23 days to 288 days? Some people it takes longer. If it's not your thing, it's going to take a longer time. Hold up. And that's something we're all going to have to get ourselves around. You know? How long is it going to take you to pay off the debt for the goal that you want? A lot of people aren't looking about paying back. They're only wanting what's forward. They only want the results. They don't want to pay the effort. And it's a lot of that. It's a lot of how much you're putting into it to get something back. Hold up. And that's the kind of energy I'm talking about. You know, this energy of seeing ourselves for reals, and doing things for reals to make our lives real. You know what I mean? And that's a scary thing, because what we know as ourselves is usually an avatar. It's usually the lie we put on with the mask, with the clothing, every day going out into the real world acting the same. And then I defy things. You know, I just got off the phone with my grandma and I said, you know, not for nothing, that's how these police are. She said, Marky, when I was in Rialto, California, had this real mean bitch that was she said that too. It was mean bitch that was at my neighbor. She was a cop and they put a tag on my car. She said she knocked on the door, but I wasn't there. And guess what they did? They straight fucking towed my grandma's car. She said, I can't afford this. I already have a car. I already pay taxes and insurance on. Why would I get another car? Electric bikes, y'all. Electric bikes. And she gave up the pink slip to the people that towed my grandma's car, just stealing value off the American people. And I just like, you know, it's just a ridiculous game, you know, where I am balls to the wall, held down, and other people can get prisoner swapped. You know what I mean? Like, I'm over here public enemy number one in my own country, and I don't even have my ass hanging out a bank vault. I'm not involved in a bank heist. I'm not involved with the cartel. I'm not involved with murder. I'm literally living my life, not hurting no one, but it's getting controlled by someone. And these someones need to know that they can't control me. I can control me. It was one of the things that broke me up with my ex. It's like, you can't control me. My mom can't control me. I needed self-control. And that's what I'm exhibiting is discipline. You know, when you can discipline yourself, that's really what we're seeing. It's like, can you discipline yourself? You can nip and tuck all you want, but can you stop throwing ho-hos down your mouth? That's really hard for me too. If I'm in a full-on sugar slut rush, I am going to go after everything that's in the house that can have sugar in it. I look for baking chocolate chips, not just like a chocolate bar. That's already been eaten. I look for baking chocolate chips. Here, I throw away some trash. And that's the truth. What you do is to face myself. You know, it's easier to face everyone else and diagnose them and tell them how they are doing with their lives. It matters not, because guess what? It's what you're doing with your life that matters the most. That's why I'm having this conversation. Is changing yourself is going to require a price that you might not know how much it costs. I watch all these gold digger videos. All these girls want to go to Chanel and get a bag. They don't even know how much it costs. They haven't even financed it. You go date a girl and she's 40 grand in school debt. My homie was 400 grand in school debt to be a doctor. I don't know if he's ever out of debt yet, but damn, bro, if it doesn't cost to be the boss. And most people think in a money way. It's not a money way. It's an effort way. I'm making myself and say, you know what? Not only am I going to quit drinking, like the roommate's doing, I'm very proud of him, but I'm also going to go to meetings, and I'm also going to start working out, and I'm also going to start treating myself better. And my kids, they get a better father, and I treat them better. And like the ripple effect is there if you want to be the pebble. And I really felt that when somebody was reaching it was Turtles. I was watching the Ninja Turtles, and in the movie he said, acceptance comes from within. You know, we're always looking for external acceptance that, oh, hey, if I make 100 grand, then I can get a girlfriend. Man, there's some girls that just want to sit on the fucking curb with you, bro, and be listened to and make her laugh and forget her problems for a quick second. That costs nothing. Companionship costs nothing. But we'd rather give up our companionship and our togetherness because it's not the right price. That person's not making enough money. And it becomes a very bad cyclical cycle of people that are very needy, very consumeristic, but they have nothing. I'm looking at people in Turkey peeling concrete back with their hands because their whole savings is in gold underneath that rubble. Everything that they own, the whole family wealth is underneath the whole house. And that's where we're at right there. Anyway, that's what it is. It's a conversation with ourselves. You know, we really have to ask ourselves, what's worth it? What amount of energy, how much is eating right worth it to me? Right? And how am I going to improve my life if I keep giving myself the fast food, depression, masturbation? How much more would my life feel like if I challenged it? If I started talking to beautiful women? I know it makes me smile when she texts me. You know, it's like, oh, I'm connecting with someone. There's someone that's pinging back to me like, hey, hi, I'm here. It's like, hi, I love you. You're going to be my end all be all. Da-da-da-da-da. Doesn't have to go that way, bro. It can build up to that, but it doesn't start that way. It started as your working out. It started as the 30th girl that I talked to that day. Having the balls to start talking to women in the first place. I was so closed off. I had to change myself and say that last mistake was a mistake. She felt like it was a mistake. We sure as hell churned it into a mistake. There's a loss there. And that I don't want to believe that loss dictated my future. We do it all the time, that we predict because it happened in the past, it's going to happen in the future. And we hold tight to these beliefs. We got to be careful of our limited disbeliefs. We got to be really careful about how we process what we believe to be true and just kind of nodding our own head, huh? All women are bitches, right? Uh-huh. They all hurt your feelings, huh? Uh-huh. Yeah. There's no other women that'll match with you, right? And then you're going to say yes, and then it'll be a true. And that's what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be a believer in my own disbelief. I didn't want to be a believer in my mistakes. I didn't want to say, well, okay, next, I want to learn from this mistake, but also not believe that I'm a mistake. I wasn't born a mistake. My life isn't a mistake. It's filled with mistakes. I'm perfectly imperfect, mostly saints, but that's where it stands for me. Psychology. Last night I'm on the phone, or yesterday I'm on the phone looking on it, and I was like, oh, I've seen this guy on YouTube. I've watched one of his videos before. I go into his website. I try to order some heat transfer paper for the new DTF machine. How much would it be? Blah, blah, blah. The chat bot pops up his phone number. Okay, bet. Okay, chatbot, let me call the number. Thinking it's an 800 number. Didn't think nothing of it. It's the dude from the channel. Two YouTubers are talking to each other on the phone, linking up. He's Brands and Empires, by the way. Is it Building Brands and Empires or just Brands? I think it's just Brands and Empires. And that's his channel. Well, I think he's Rich or Rick. Rick. I think he's Rick and the other guy's Rich. But anyway, these guys that I watch, I'm now talking to directly. We both got each other's phone numbers. He should be subscribing to my channel, but I subscribed to his channel. If I hadn't already, I should have, and started to watch more of the videos and learn more from him. And I'm like, what a connection. Someone that I know knows him directly. Now I know him directly. I'm expanding those connections homeboy said that I was unsuccessful with. I'm not my net worth. It's my network. And people are going to be so mad that I travel by Saints hits the road again without no money. All I got is credit cards, and I don't even have that much money. My bank lady's like, how are you going to afford that? I'm going to France, and I'm bringing way more than that. Well, I crash on people's couches. If I don't have to be with the family and have to have our own room every day, clocking us, training us of funds that would have been spent on, if you could live, you can actually live. Travel by Saints, I'll give you more advice. You can actually live off your cost of living, literally the housing cost and the rental and the Airbnb or the rent or whatever you were going to put money, say it's $100 for the night. How many meals could you eat with that $100? Probably all day and into the next. And that's what I'm doing. I'm not spending my money on staying on a couch. I'm spending my time with friends. And that's made all the difference. So I just keep doing things to challenge myself and make myself come out and say, how can you change, Mark? You know, how can you change, person watching this right now? And then when you're asking for change, you're going to ask yourself, what are you willing to change? That's a big fucking question, man. That's the question of a lifetime. What am I willing to change? That's what it is, dude. It's the things that are inside of us. And there's so many other motherfuckers. Damn, all the plastic pocket challenge when I'm trying to fucking just smoke a little bit. Damn. That's what it's gonna have to take. It's gonna have to take us adjusting, us being flexible, us being our better forms of ourselves. And that takes effort. It's not a wish. It's not a want. It's an action. It's a verb. More plastic pocket challenge. Trash everywhere. I hope these people keep seeing me on their camera like, what's that guy doing? I'm just throwing away trash, bro. Just throwing away the trash. It's pocket challenge, but now my hands are sticky and I want to smoke. So anyway, that's what it's about. It's about us finding it within ourselves, right? That we are who we are and that we reinforced it by effort. We didn't just say how we are. We didn't just say, oh, I'm a 10 because my ego said so. Your ego's not your ego. Are you willing to put effort behind it? Are you willing to do the put in that effort, that cost for the goal? It's not just a wish, it's a goal. Have a goal over with. Because it makes all difference in the way that you perform. The amount of effort in dollars, are you going to let it stand in the way of you and your goal? And I said no. And I started to work on my payroll. And that's what ended up happening. I ended up getting $2,000 credit card. But anyway, my point is that, you know, these objectives can be reached. We all make something happen. It's just that we answer the call. And that's the acceptance. We on whatever you need, holler at me. I make shirt addict. I same station, and I'm a shirt addict. And part of my mission is to shirts and also giving back to Saints Giving. That's me. That's who I am. Who are you? Please comment below. It'll be a good exercise to actually practice it in the mirror instead of saying, oh, I'm a civil engineer, or I work for this, or I go to this school. Tell people who you are. And I'd really like to know what you say down below. I'm going to be real clutch. Is okay. I am this and this and this, and this is who I am. Speak it into existence. Peace and love. I'll see you on the other side. Ciao.